Good morning, friends. Welcome to our discussion on human values in higher education. And the theme is ensuring quality in research through ethical practices. And the topic we have chosen for discussion in this particular presentation is how to distinguish between good and bad and develop good values. The objective for this discussion emerges from this creation. Everything is created by God, but these are used and managed by all, including human beings. Therefore, the state of existence is dependent on actions and thoughts of the key stakeholders and players in this world. And human beings, being the key players and stakeholders on earth, are of special interest and hence human values. Human thoughts and actions are guided by brain-mind system and modulated by values and ethics. Research in our world is the tool of resolving unsolved and add value and knowledge to our database. The quality and ethics are the key in this quest for knowledge development, and human values and ethics for quality in everything are the key to good knowledge and safeguarding peace, harmony, survival, and existence of everything in the world. We will discuss this topic under various headings like introduction and background, human being and the cognitive system, research quality in higher education, and role of values and ethics in human behavior and research, need for quality, values, and ethics in daily life, and how values are built and evolved. We will look at the role of education in building values and values and ethics in research and education, and conclude with some views on the whole issue. Coming from introduction point of view, since time immemorial, humanity has faced crises like conflicts, epidemics, wars, threats, disasters, etc. Some of these are natural, but some are man-made. But for handling both, we need the understanding of nature and underlying causes and right actions. Most importantly, good and evil, which are aspects of existence from origin till now and are present at all times and everything. Important point to note for everyone is good has to be cultivated, but evil can come uninvited. Therefore, good and evil act as modulators of thought processes and hence behavior and actions depending on human beings and the environment. Among human beings, Satripus, or the six evils as they are known as Kam, Krodh, Madh, Moh, Lobh, and Isha, become the source of many other evils, and these can be handled or managed through the soul, which is an invisible element of supercausal body and can help in making brain-mind system distinguish the good from evil, which is defined as self-realization. Therefore, with proper understanding of self-realization and practice, human beings can be brought to a level where these can be used as tools to vanquish evil and inculcate goodness in human beings. In this, education is the tool of making minds and hence the human beings, and research is the tool of removing confusion and adding true knowledge. Both require brain mind soul system as the key to know good and evil and follow good, where values become the outcome of human evolution and nature and drivers of the human actions. The values have various levels. These can be permanent, temporary, or in between, and education and research can help in evolving good values. Therefore, knowing how to know good and follow it is the key to peace, harmony, and survival. And since human beings are the key players and stakeholders, knowing a human being is the key to developing good values. What is shown here is the human need value dynamics, because needs are generated by the sensations from external world and internal world and are modulated by the motivation and values and handled by our brain mind soul system as tools of creating good and vanquishing evil. If you look from human being's point of view, a human being is a living being with a physical body and some invisible parts, and these invisible parts comprise of three more bodies known as subtle, causal, and supercausal, which have elements like physical body is the external internal physical body and also includes the air body. The subtle body is mind, intellect, and subtle senses. Causal body is ego, attention, and subtle life force. And supercausal body is Atma, Paramatma, and Prakriti. All these have a role in making human cognitive system work and evolve using values and ethics. Coming to the human cognitive system, brain, mind are the main, like a computer hardware, software, where mind has four modules: the perceptual system, the cognitive system, the memory management, and motor system. But in addition to these, the elements of causal body, ego and attention, and supercausal body, Atma and Prakriti, also have a deeper role in making the cognitive system. While brain-mind work like a computer hardware and software, other elements act as modulators and spatial packages to make the brain-mind system work. It is this cumulative effect of all the elements of four bodies which makes a human being as a person with a specific personality, with capabilities and character. In this, the need, values, and ethics have a role to play. Needs have a hierarchy from physiological to the safety, social, ego, and or esteem and self-actualization. Values are something which we pay special attention to and become of value to us, and ethics are the guidelines or code which evolve from decision making and values. Morals, morality, values, and ethics all taken together are the tools of human behavior and make human being deal with everything in daily life, and these are the reflections of the state and way of working of the human cognitive system. Values can be basic values, acquired values, and pseudo values, which we will discuss further when we go into details of values. Need and research. All research are initiated by need and goals of the scholars, and needs have levels as shown here depending on whether these are physiological and social, that is for survival, for getting value in the society, or for satisfaction of ego or self-satisfaction. Therefore, need drive the actions, including desire for research, for knowledge, and research to establish truth and true knowledge. If we look at the working of the needs and value system as shown in the diagram here, external signals arouse senses which create need with the help of the brain-mind-soul system, are motivated by motivation and values, and result in actions which can be taken as feedback into the system. Therefore, soul, brain-mind system together make a person act as a spiritually evolved and self-realized person. And that. As far as the research and values are concerned, needs are the drivers, key drivers of the research, and motivation for research comes from needs but is driven by education, training, values, etc., where values act as modulators for action and give directions to brain-mind system to achieve the goals, and good values can create good motivation, and good education is synonymous with good values. Keeping this aspect, education, training, research, and values, education and training are tools of making and molding human brain-mind system to develop into an instrument of human behavior. Education imparts knowledge and capabilities needed to understand and act, and training imparts skills and capabilities to do and perform, and ultimately the values are developed as a consequence of education, training, etc., and become the guiding principles in due course. Therefore, good education is necessary for good values, and these are aspects of the learning in the individual. Coming to evolution and change in values, this is a very important topic because while we all give importance to values and these cannot be overstressed, the point still remains, are values permanent or these can be changed? If we look at the world around, the events and the happenings, we can see some values which are spoken, some values which are demonstrated, but quite a number of these undergo change. Therefore, the question comes, can we bring values to a point where these can become the real good tool of survival in mankind? First, let us understand values. There are mainly three types of values: the basic values, acquired values, and pseudo values, where basic values are given by genetic code, family, society, etc., and some of these are self-protection, which is like SPS in the body, self-protection system, desires in the human being, courage in difficult times, and capability to perform. But there are also acquired values which are developed by choice and include items like respect for elders, love for others, love for social life of all people, religious and cultural practices and values. But there is a third one, pseudo values, which are really not there, but person can adopt these to achieve certain goals. For example, show of honesty, courage, respect, love without having these, just to win favors and succeed in the daily life can become a tool of human existence. Therefore, problems of the world are caused by pseudo values which are wrongly acquired and lead to wrong actions. If we consider the role of values and ethics in the human behavior and actions, we have already discussed Needs lead to desires, and desires lead to motivation and action, but values and morals or ethics modulate these. But important point is, every human action leads to some feedback into our conscious or subconscious or unconscious system, which modulate our motivation and values and create new values and ethics, which become the tools of motivation in subsequent lives. Therefore, need for good values and ways to develop is the key for everything in the world. Good values are essential for peace, harmony, happiness, growth, and sustenance. These require understanding of good and evil, and even a criminal trained to commit those acts commits these with full knowledge and hence has the value for doing that particular action. But we have to go to the origin of creation purpose to make changes in this particular value development system and go back to the source of creation, the God Almighty, who acts as an instrument from birth which modulate, evolve the good values and the knowledge, capacity to know good and evil in the human beings. This instrument of assessment or awareness which can help us know from good from evil is known as a Kundalini instrument or autonomous nervous system, which can help with the sensations in the hands, body, etc., to distinguish good from evil and follow the path of good. Therefore, the need is to understand this instrument of awareness and use it as a tool for distinguishing good from the evil. If you look at the diagram attached with the slide, in a human being, awareness comes from signals from sensory organs and intuition, and we have 5 senses which give us sensual signals: sense of seeing, touch, taste, pressure, etc. These sensory perceptions are caused by processing of the physical signal in the brain-mind system, and intuition, which is a sixth sense or element of human cognition inbuilt, helps in developing a understanding of soul, and brain, mind, soul act as instrument of awareness and tool of knowing good and evil through our attention. Therefore, the brain is an element of physical body, mind is an element of subtle body, attention is an element of causal body, and soul is an element of supercausal body, and all taken together and integrated into a system through the Kundalini instrument act as the instrument of awareness and tool of distinguishing good from evil. If you look at our brain-mind system, consciousness is a very important part. We do refer to the conscious, subconscious, and conscious often, but the important point to understand is that there are mainly 4 levels of consciousness: unconscious, subconscious, conscious, and superconscious, which have various modules interacting with perceptual system, with memory system, with cognitive system, etc., and can have modules. Consciousness is present in all matter, livings and non-livings, and is defined as the capacity to feel, sense, and act. And these levels of consciousness make a particular living or non-living a instrument with certain capabilities. Question can arise where from the consciousness came. Actually, the consciousness is an aspect of origin and can help in knowing good from evil. If you look at the diagram below, origin started from silence, which was the state of Yog Nidra of Sadashiva, and when a desire arose in the heart of Sadashiva or in silence, it evolved into Ardhanareshwar, which was basically energy and consciousness, and as when it separated, the event of Big Bang was caused, but they separated into two forms: one, good or the light, and second, evil or the darkness, mainly because the silence was like a gondoli, and when light and darkness separated, the goodness and evil became active, and they gave birth to they interacted with the conscious and a superconscious, with energy and consciousness to create four levels of bodies as supercausal, causal, subtle, and physical, which are basically the format for creation. When these four levels got created, the God evolved the instrument of awareness and control as Adi Kundalini instrument, also defined as Virat, and which gave birth to the five levels of matters and different levels of living, including human beings. The important point to understand is a human being is made in the image of Virata. Therefore, all aspects of creation are present in a human being and can be used with right actions or right perceptions or right directions to act as the tools of knowing good and evil in the life. This state of origin to Kundalini instrument has been shown here. An important point to understand is that this consciousness manifested as Shiva and energy manifested as Shakti, but the element of energy and consciousness both were present through the power of Shakti in the creation and gave birth to physical and other levels of existence. In this, the role of Kundalini instrument becomes important because Kundalini comprises nadis and chakras, which act as the instruments of making nature in the human being and control elements. And Kundalini acts as a life force which, when energizes nadis and chakras, they become the instrument of active awareness in a human being and can be used as tools of knowing good from evil. Important point is these are present on all organs of the body: hands, feet, body, head, etc. This Kundalini instrument is responsible for creating nature. Ida, which is the left sympathetic nervous system, gives birth to the Tamasic Pravritti. Ida, Tamasic Pravritti, the right side, the Pingala, which is the right sympathetic nervous system, gives birth to the Rasic Pravritti, and central channel, which is the parasympathetic, gives birth to Sushumna or balancing lies. Tamasic people are depressive, can act in impulse. Rasic people are highly objective and ego-oriented, but Sattvic people, which are like rishis and munis, are the backbone of stability in the society. And knowing all this, we can balance the state of existence and create good values. Therefore, creating good values, we need to understand the source of life, which is energy and values, and energy can be both negative and positive. By creating balance and flow of energy, we can remove the imbalances in left or right and create balanced human beings, which are like Rishi Munis and sadhus, and vibrations from our hands and body after self-realization help us in distinguishing good from the evil. Good vibrations are felt as cool breeze, whereas the negative vibrations can act as burning or as irritation, and therefore good vibrations can be used as a tool for creating good values, and path of self-realization can become the tool of knowing evil from the good. Therefore, the values which are created have impact on education and research. Like everything else in the world today, higher education and research also is passing through testing phase. We have one side stress on enrolling more and more, which leads to false enrollments and false degrees. On the other side, need for quality requires balance. Therefore, the need is for good policies to create positive scholars with quality approach towards research and development. Therefore, in the world we have witnessed that there are both good and bad. These are caused by human thought and actions and are reflection of the personality, values and ethics of the people in the hems of affairs. Therefore, to remove unethical practices can help in removing the problems and creating good human beings who can become the backbone of society. Self-realization, which is knowing good from evil through the awakening of Kundalini and knowing our soul, is the real path for creating positive values, which is a path for spiritual awakening and for creating good society. Therefore, the tool of making good world is know thyself. We hope with this we will be able to create good beings, good values, and thank you all very much.